Hi and welcome to this Autoemotional presentation for a drop-dead gorgeous Lexus ES350. As you can see, the car is in immaculate condition. Being a facelift, you've got that large kidney-shaped grille, the spindle shape that's now a trademark of the Lexus brand. This car, believe it or not, is actually on, it's running. It's so hot outside we thought we'd get the car running so we could jump into that ice cold AC and do the rest of the video on the interior of the car. But just a quick walk around to let you know that this car's in near showroom condition. The only mark that I've come across is this little scratch here, and I do mean it's a little scratch. The interior of the car, as you can see, is in absolutely immaculate condition. That beautiful blue metallic contrasting with this soft grey perforated leather with a hand stitching and the contrasting thread there. It's a vehicle that has got so many toys. We really just need to jump in and crack on with all the gadgets. It's even got the plastic on the Lexus door sills, and you've got the extended plastic guard here. So as you can see, normally where you'd get scuffs on a vehicle like this, you've actually got the extended guard there from Lexus themselves. Pop this rather mammoth boot open, and as you can see, it's got a huge load capacity. You've also got that through fare in case you do need to load your skis through the hatch. All the tools there, and the original first aid kit. As you can see, everything in this vehicle is in such good condition. And not only that, you know that you're getting in something special when you can close the door and it feels as though it's a Edwardian manor house that's being closed behind you. It's in such remarkable condition, this car. Genuinely, absolutely unmarked. Leather throughout with that cross stitching and that contrasting look. It's such a lovely car to be driven around in and to drive in as well. I mean, it's a Lexus, so it's a bit silly to say that everything works, but believe me, absolutely everything works. SRS airbags throughout the vehicle. Of course, this is a chariot that's going to keep you and your family safe, and as mentioned previously, it's absolutely roasting out here. So what we're going to do is jump inside this drop dead gorgeous Lexus and crack on with some of the gadgets and gizmos that are in the car. My word, what a big difference. Now here's the thing about a Lexus. We're going to crank this fan all the way down. In fact, let's do one more thing. Let's take it and show you the quality of this vehicle. Now, it sounds as though there's a bit of noise coming from the car. True, and there very well is. And that's to do with the front cooling on the seat. If I switch this cooling off, that's how quiet this car is with the engine running. Now, there's a bit of a phenomenon when it comes to new drivers for Lexuses, is that if nothing's on, if the fans aren't on, they tend to keep starting the car, and that's very simply because they don't realize that the car's running. If you have not driven a Lexus, you don't realize what a quiet car is. Now, of course, here at Autoemotional, we're very lucky. We've gone through them all. Bentleys, Jags, Mercs, S-Classes, you name it. But there's nothing that drives quite as serenely or as quietly as a Lexus. And with all these gadgets and gizmos, it's no wonder that for the first time initiated, they tend to get in the car and try to restart the vehicle. Your rev counter's up, the car's actually running. It's just so quiet on the inside of this cabin. The build quality on Lexuses is something just remarkable, and to be honest, even the Germans just can't get it right. The reliability on these cars is why they're chosen by the delegates and the VVIPs throughout the Middle East, is because they know that the climate in this country is extreme, and although that sun is absolutely gorgeous, you do need shade from it once in a while, and so does the engine. You've got the triple layered paint and the bigger cooling system on these Lexuses, so it means that they're absolutely run and run and run without breaking a sweat, and that's what you want. Now, this menu system that you can see here, which is part of the latest Lexus generation of vehicles, has got so many gadgets, it's going to take 10 minutes alone just to go through it. I mean, to give you an overview, you've got destination, apps, setup, radio, media, climate, phone, and you can scroll through it through this mouse-like keypad, and it simply toggles through all of the options. And as you can see, behind it is a wall of subcategories that is going to take an absolute age to go through, but whomsoever ends up being the lucky owner of this vehicle, they're the ones who are going to get to play with all of the gadgets and toys in this thing. And again, we're going to crank the AC up here because it's just so hot outside, but this car will offer you that cooling that you require when it's the summer months. And not only that, during the winter month, which do tend to hit us 3 months out of the year, you can crank the heating up on this front passenger and front driver's seat as well. Lots of people think when they come into the Middle East that it's hot all the year round, and we're graced with that wonderful weather for pretty much 10 months of the year, but in those 2 months you really do want some heated seats, and believe me, this thing really does toast you in all the right places, shall we say. Again, the multimedia system, the CD, the radio, and as well as that you've also got the auxiliary and the USB cable there, so it can handle all of your music. It's a wonderful, wonderful system. We're not going to demonstrate it purely because we don't want to infringe anyone's copyrights. We're not like that here in Autoemotional, but believe you me, when you come to take a look at this vehicle, we'll demonstrate it for you, and you're going to be aware that this thing really does have all the speakers and all the amplifiers blowing in the right direction. Digital climate control, of course, it's split, so passenger can have one temperature and the driver can have another. Lots of functions, self-explanatory. The car's very, very simple to use. Get in, press the button and drive off, and whisper quiet 6-speed gearbox. Not only can you drive it, of course, in the normal D, you've also got the sports and the plus and the minus, so you can drive it in the TRIPTRONIC style. Now, in all honesty, you just tend not to do that because the car's got an immense amount of torque just in the normal setting. However, you can also switch it down to eco so that you're driving a bit more frugally. But in all honesty, again, with the fuel prices that we're lucky with here in the Middle East, you tend not to do that. You keep it in normal. And if you do want to give it the beans, so to speak, to coin an old English phrase, whack it in sports, and believe me, this thing turns into a bit of an animal. We haven't done it. There's no need. Put it in D, sit back, hit the cruise control, cruise on down to Abu Dhabi or 𝗔𝗨𝗧𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗢𝗡, and this car will not break a sweat. You can see it is finger light power steering. It really is incredible, and there's such a host of features to make you feel as though this car is tailor-made to you. You've got the 3-position memory seat there, of course. You've got the electronic tilt and rake on the steering control. You really set this car up exactly as you want. Electric mirrors, windows, it's seats, you know, every single thing works. We don't need to demonstrate it. It's a Lexus. It does what it says on the tin. But this one, of course, with that beautiful appointment, hand-stitched leather throughout, with that brushed metallic look and that wooden trim. And again, you've got that new generation key, so you keep it in your pocket, walk up to the vehicle, unlock it, sit in, press that all-important engine start-stop button, and the thing really does fire into life. And as you can see, absolutely unmarked. You've got a light grey roof lining and beautiful light grey leather throughout, perforated, hand-stitched, and with that contrasting effect of the royal blue on the stitching to marry up with the royal blue metallic on the outside, it makes for such a wonderful interior. You've also got the garage opening facility, so you can actually marry that up. If you have this home assist feature on your garage, you can actually drive up to the front door and it will open automatically. Beautiful glass screen letting you know that that wonderful UAE sunlight is bathing us in all its glory outside. It's a car that really does tick all the boxes. It's got prestige, it's got power, it's got pace, and it certainly does have all the appointments that you want. Leather, electric, heated, cooled, 3-way memory seats, power windows, seats, mirrors, it's power steering. You've got just a host of applications in this new generation mouse style navigation system here. It's a video on its own, and there's actually videos out there on YouTube that you can take a look at, letting you know what all those facilities are. Ladies and gentlemen, it's baking outside, but it's ice cold in here, and we think whomsoever is very fortunate enough to end up with this Lexus is going to feel like us and not want to step outside of the vehicle. So once again, we thank you so much for taking the time to watch this presentation on this absolutely beautiful Lexus ES350 presented exclusively by Autoemotional.